Hello guys, thank you so much for being here. My name is Valerie. Now, fabrics can be different widths. So let's establish the width of the fabric that we will use to make those curtains. And for this purpose, I'm going to go ahead and use a very common width of decor fabric, which is 54 inches. So your fabric is 54 inches. The width of this window is 6 feet. However, to that 6 feet, we will need to add side hems. And if you're making 2 panels, it means that you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 side hems. Now your side hems are usually doubled, and they can be 1 inch double hem or 2 inches double hem. So 4 times 2 equal 8 inches. So we will need to add 8 inches to this 6 feet for our calculation. And what we're doing right now is establishing how many widths of this 54-inch fabric we will need to go across the window. So our overall width is 6 feet 8 inches. Our fabric width is 54 inches. So what we want to do is convert our 6 feet 8 inches into inches across the board, right? There are 12 inches in a foot, which means that we multiply 12 by 6 and we get 2 6s are 12, 2 6 1 6 and 1 72. So 6 12s are 72 plus 8 inches, which is the double hem for the sides. That's going to be 80 inches. Now, not only do we need to put the side hems on the width, but then we need to figure out what fullness we want on our draperies. So your fullness can be single, which means that you won't have much gathers or pleats, or your fullness can be 1.5, 2, 3, and so on, right? Now, a double fullness will give you a decent amount of gathers. So let's just do a double fullness. When you're doing your calculations, if you want to do like a triple fullness, then go ahead and use a triple fullness, which means that you will multiply by 3. Here we are going to multiply by 2 because we are doing a double fullness. So we'll multiply the 80 inches by 2, and that equals 2 8s are 16. That's 160 inches. Now we'll take this 160 inches and we will divide by 54 inches, because remember now we are trying to find out how many 54 inches we'll need to go across the window. So that's 160 divided by 54. Now I could do some long division, but I think I'm just going to grab the calculator and just use the calculator. So that's 160 divided by 54 equals 2.96. 2.96. However, we're talking about widths of fabric, and we can't buy partial widths. We have to buy a full width. So therefore, we'll have to round up this 2.96 widths to 3 widths. So we will need 3 widths of fabric. So now that we have established how many widths of fabric we will need, let's go on and look at our length. Now our length here is 7 feet. Okay, so for our length, we will also need to add increments. And those increments are for the top hem and the bottom hem to finish off the curtain panel, right? Now, generally, I'll suggest that you do a 4-inch double hem. So if we have a 4-inch double hem at the top and a 4-inch double hem at the bottom, it means that it's going to be 4 times 4, because remember, a double hem has 2 folds, right? I will link a video so you can check out the double hem and the best way to do your double hems when you're doing your curtains. But that's going to be 4 times 4, and 4 4s are 16. So that's 16 inches. Our next step is to add 16 inches to 7 feet. But before we do that, let's go ahead and convert our 7 feet to inches. So there are 12 inches in a foot. Therefore, we have 84 inches. So it's 84 inches plus 16 inches. And that's going to give us 6 and 4, 10, 8, 1, 9. That's 100 inches. So our overall length is 100 inches. The next step is to multiply this 100 inches, which is from top to bottom here, by 3, because we need 3 widths to go across the window. So that will be 300 inches. So in order for us to find out how many yards of fabric we will need, we will have to divide this 300 inches by 36 inches, because there are 3 feet in a yard and there are 12 inches in a foot, right? So 3 12s are 36. So 300 divided by 36 equals 8.33 yards. But what I like to do is to round up when we're buying fabrics, because we want to make sure that we have enough. So we don't want to cut this 0.33 yards off. That's gonna make us run short on fabric. So let's round up to 8.5. So we will need 8.5 yards of fabric. And you could go ahead and buy 9 yards. So you can get some decorative cushions to go along with your curtains. Now, if you're making draperies, lined curtains are draperies, right? If you are going to line your window treatments, then you need to buy the same amount of lining as your decorative fabric. I hope that's helpful. In this lesson, we will look at how to cut your curtain panel in order to make sure that you end up with just what you want, right? And so we will be using the same window that we used in the last lesson. So let's look at the width and the length, because those are 2 essential measurements that we need to cut our panels. What we have here is a window. Well, the area on the wall that we want to cover is 6 feet. and the length is 7 feet. For a window such as this one, we would generally have 2 curtain panels. So if we have 2 curtain panels, it means then that we have to cut this 6 feet into 2. So that means that we will have 3 feet on the one side and 3 feet on the other side. However, when we're cutting curtain panels, we don't use feet, right? We use inches. So let's convert our feet to inches. For our 3 feet here, we will have 36 inches, and that's our width. And for our length, which is 7 feet, that will be 84 inches. So these 2 measurements will be what we call our finished measurement, which means that when you're done making your curtain panel, this is the width and the length that you want. However, in order to arrive at this, there are some, let's say, additions that we need to do. The first thing we need to do is take our width and decide whether or not we want triple fullness, double fullness. Now remember, when you do your calculation for your fabric requirement, if you calculated with a double fullness, then that is what you have to use when you are cutting your curtain panel. In our last lesson, we use a double fullness, so we're going to go ahead and use a double fullness here. So what we have to do is take our width, which is the 36 inches, and we have to multiply by 2 because we are doing a double fullness. So that's 2 6s are 12, 2 3 6, and 1 7. So that is 72 inches. That is our width. However, we don't just stop here. For each curtain panel, we'll have side hems, right? We are looking at 1 curtain panel here. So we have 2 side hems. Now, generally, I suggest that you use a 2-inch double hem for your sides, okay? And if we're using a 2-inch double hem for our sides, it means then that we're going to have 4 inches on each side because we turn the fabric over 2 times. So that would be 4 times 2 equals 8. So we have to add 8 inches to the 72 inches, and that gives us 80 inches. So that is the width that we will need to have for the panel in order to arrive at our finished width, which is 36 inches. Now let's look at the length. Our finished length is 84 inches. What we need to do now is add increments for our top hem and our bottom hem. Now you can use 3-inch double hem if you want. You can use 2-inch double hem if you want. But in the lesson that we calculated the fabric, we did a 4-inch double hem. So we'll go ahead and use a 4-inch double hem here. And a 4-inch double hem means that you fold your fabric 4 inches twice, which means that you would have 8 inches at the top and 8 inches at the bottom, which means that it's 8 times 2, which is 16 inches. So we'll add 16 inches to the 84 inches here. Now I do have videos which explains a double hem and the best way to do your double hem, and so I will link those videos for you. For those of you who haven't seen the fabric calculation or the measuring your window videos, I will also link those so you can check them out. So if we add 16 inches to 84 inches here, what do we get? We get 100 inches. Therefore, when we cut our panel, the panel will be, if that's the panel, it will be 80 inches times 100 inches long. Now, for you to be able to get your 80 inches, you may have to join panels, unless of course you get like a double width fabric. And so if you have to join your panels to get the width that you need, then you need to add at least 1 inch increment for the seam that will be on the panel, right, when you join the two panels together. I hope that helps. Please let me know what you think in the comments section. Also, like the video and share the video, please. Share. And yeah, if you're here for the first time, please remember to subscribe before you leave and hit that notification bell icon so you can be informed, notified of new videos. You take care now. I will see you in the next video.